What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Cartel. Today, we're going to talk about whether the crypto bottom is in. My name is Henry. I've been in crypto markets 5 years now, and Alex here has also been in crypto markets. Basically paid our tuition to the market, lost a lot of money, made a lot of money, and now we like to think we have a little bit of an edge. So, we're going to be talking, is the bottom in today? And more importantly, are there any opportunities in altcoin land? And we're going to be diving into it today. So let's get started, Alex.
All right, guys, welcome back. I know it's been a while since we last streamed, and it's been 3 weeks at least. So I do want to give a little bit of depth in our background on Bitcoin and what we're looking at. So let's go ahead and start looking at the bigger time frames here. Let's go back to the. We'll start with the monthly, but we'll move on to the 6 month. So overall, we did hit a top at 109. We came back down. If you guys watched the stream, I did talk about us hitting the mid 70s. I had a target to 74K, but we ended up going to like 76K. Anyway, we're still, if you look at the monthly, we're still in a bullish pattern. I mean, the monthly ends in about 4 days, 5 days. And what we could be making here is, I mean, we are making higher highs on a monthly. It's not showing any bearish shines on the macro time levels, right? So until we break this trend right here, until we get below this line right here, then maybe I'd start thinking about, if we're going to enter a bear market. But if you continue to stay around these levels above mid 70s or even 70K, a potential wick down to 60s, that's fine so long as we get above that. So again, that's support. It's highlighted there. So that's the 1 month. I do want to go to the 6 month really quick, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty there. But let's go look at the index. Um, yeah, 6 month. All right, guys. So as you can see here, the stochastics RSI is still pushing to the upside. There is, and a lot of people in the crypto space have talked about this bearish divergence that comes from like 2017, but it's kind of hard to say in such a bigger time frame, right? To talk about this in such a big time frame. But anyway, stochastic still has a lot of space to move up. Um, so I still feel like this is bullish. We haven't turned back down in the 6 month. If you look at the 3 month, let's go there. This is showing some sort of a weakness here, almost like a potential double top. Again, a lot of bearish divergence from all the way back in 2013. Doesn't matter really. We've ignored it for uh, you know, the last few years, decade, I'd say. And then let's move into the monthly. To me, monthly still looks very 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 good in the short term time frame. Let's move into the weekly. So all right, so here's where things are going to get very interesting, right? In the short term time frame is, could we get above that 94K? So this is what I'm looking at right now, and this is where I'm looking to either short or potentially long if we break above that, right? This is a region of a lot of support. We are showing a bit of weakness on the RSI and the MACD. If we start zooming into the 3 day and the 5 day, again, you see the 21 MA is there to block the essentially becoming a resistance region. I'm sorry, resistance. And so one of the things I am looking at is for us to reach maybe all the way up to here. And personally, I might short it from there. Maybe potential coming down to here. But if we do break above that, close above here, retest this area and hold, then I see more continuation to the upside. So here, let me give you the scenario in the next few hours. I do see this as a shoulder, head and shoulder, right? So let's see that really quick. Something like this. Remember, this was like a scam wick that we had because of the whole Trump thing. And this is the scenario. And again, we could wick up to there, that region, but to me, I'm seeing like maybe 94, maybe as high as 98. If we could hold this ground, come back down to here, hold this, we can continue to the upside. So is the bull run over? Is, Bitcoin at bottom? Are we at local bottoms? Did we hit local bottoms? Essentially, this is what's going to determine that for me. If we do break above that, retest and continue, great. If we get rejected around this area, then, I- if that happens, I do want to see us retest the mid 70s again. Or maybe just continue to hold this range, right? Yeah, I mean, it's the mid 70s. Yeah, so hold this range around here and then go from there. So, uh, I think more to come in the next 4 or 5 days as we see how the monthly closes. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, so I think definitely agree with a lot of what you said, kind of in no man's land here. So I think in general, obviously the big time frames are still bullish, but when you go down to the weekly and the 5 day, it starts to look a little more dicey.
Yeah.
Uh, so in terms of the weekly, we've lost structure. Obviously, we lost this range, and we're looking, to see if this is a deviation, or are we gonna test underside retest here and then end up, going much lower. I don't know. I think the key level for me is probably close to where you said, which would be the yearly open. So if you guys can check out this indicator here with the monthly opens, trader XO levels, and we see here the January open was right here, 93.6K, which is right where we are probably going to retest. Um, and that, I think we either stop short and then go lower, or retest here. I am going to look for a short there just because, I'm kind of going with market structure. And if we look at the weekly, it hasn't fully, if you look at the EMAs and the trends, it hasn't fully shifted bearish yet. But certainly, like the 5 day, some pretty significant time frames are showing bearish signs. And I want to see acceptance like above these moving averages on the 5 day. It could be just like a fake out here, like we got, on this move from in last June from 69K to 49, and then we reclaimed here. So we could just be doing one of these, and bull market continues. But to play it on the safe side, I think I'm probably looking just for shorts, and I'm out of most of my spot positions also, and not really looking to go against the trend here until I see some strength up here above the monthly open. And this is like a confirmed deviation. So, but that being said, I do think there are some, if Bitcoin behaves, there are some opportunities like as it bounces here between high 80s, low 90s to maybe like this old all-time high of 70, call it 74K. I think there are going to be like some good opportunities to do some swing trades on some alts, um, both directions. But again, like at this point, probably looking more for the short side after we've kind of bottomed here at 77 and up 14% in the last 2 weeks or so. Probably more so looking for the shorts than looking to take on longs. Uh, what do you think? Is your approach kind of similar?
Yeah, so yeah, essentially it's shorting because there's, like I said, there's a lot of resistance in the mid 90s region. So it wouldn't surprise me if we wake up here, get everyone, very horny, essentially, everyone saying, "Oh, bull season's back." But again, like I want to see more momentum on the weekly. And right now, like as I'm looking at the daily, like this, I mean, we're so spent here. Like we've gotten we've oscillated once, came back down, and this is the second time. And I mean, it's not bad, right? We went from like 77 to 87. We did like a $10,000 move up to here. And then the 3 day is also showing. Honestly, it's showing there's not a lot of strength. Usually, when I see this all the way up here and we haven't even crossed the MACD, right? this usually tells me that we're probably gonna come back down anyway. So yeah, for me, levels. I mean, I shorted all the way down. I longed around 86,000 earlier today to like 88 or whatever. I'm out of my spot position, so I'm doing short term trades right now. But I think you're probably right. There's going to be a decent opportunity on some alts to really play with, and get some good cash in there. But let's just say we do. And last thing about Bitcoin, let's just say we do see this sort of bullish scenario where we do a shoulder ahead and we're potentially going to pump up to here, retest it like I talked to you earlier, like I said earlier, and then there, and then maybe you could see, then maybe the last leg, right, for this bull run, maybe something like this, right? Which I have it at around like 121 to 135, right? But I try to keep it safe with my ranges. So if that could be a possibility. There is this other trend I do want to talk about. We have this trend since back in August of last year, and we're still holding. I mean, so again, until we start making lower lows, then I mean we're still good. We can go sideways, maybe a double bottom down to 74, and then continue to the upside, right? I think the double bottom scenario seems more ideal. Then we do more bullish divergence on these time frames, right? I mean, this daily right here was great bullish divergence. If you see, swing low, right, and then this is a higher high, so that was a good reversal point here. I mean, I did have my buying orders at around 74K. It just, I got people were front running things, and it went all the way down to 76.5. So again, looking for more. We'll look for more opportunities. Let's see how this one is looking. So again, this is also another region to keep an eye on. If we do break, find that retest, and then maybe continue to go to the upside, right? So that retest would be a long trigger. But yeah, so that's what we have for Bitcoin, or a double bottom here, and then we continue to the upside. So do you want to look at another coin?
So just touching on like the macro picture,
Yeah.
we have uh, on April 2nd what Trump is calling Liberation Day. I don't know if you've seen. Basically, that's when the tariffs. That's like doomsday for the tariffs, right? That's when they're going to go live, or they're going to decide the degree to which how strong they're going to be. And I
Ooh.
think what you've seen here with markets, with stocks and crypto, which has been very correlated to stocks this year, U.S. equities, is people have a little bit of hopium, and the Trump team has sort of backed off the all-out, like full-on tariffs, and now you have a little front running in terms of sentiment that April 2nd isn't as bad as everyone thought, because you did have a big sell-off to start the year with stocks due to tariffs, due to Trump's unpredictability. So what you could get on April 2nd is Trump drops the hammer, and we go back to we're back to Goblin Town. But or maybe tariffs aren't as bad and we resume the uptrend. So that's a key thing to watch for. The other thing, before we get into some specific coins that I want to touch on is, in some of our earlier streams this year, a few weeks ago, and even before that, we were talking about how it's definitely a bear market at this point for altcoins. Um, so you see the performance here. Um, this is for year to date, and Bitcoin's down 7%. Like, no, not a huge correction for Bitcoin, but altcoins have been just absolutely massacred. Like, I'm talking blue chips, former leaders down 30-50%. And then you go into like the riskier stuff with the AI agents and meme coins, and you're talking 80, 90, 70% correction. So it's pretty nasty. That's year to date. And then over the last 90 days, which I think the top was around December for the market, if I'm not mistaken, uh, just absolutely brutal, right? So it's definitely a trader's market at the moment. But if we zoom in a little bit, we start to see some pockets of strength, right? Like Bitcoin in the last 30 days is down 5%, but some alts are starting to outperform, but it's a very like touch and go. One of the big standouts though that we had talked about a big level here on Fartcoin, and it's definitely shown itself to be a leader on this bounce. I mean, mostly in the last 30 days, up 90%. We had talked about it getting to, I think it was the 200 million level, and it did get front ran a bit. Let's just pull it up here. But this is a big level we were talking about, that if it got down to 200 million or the low 200s, that's an area that we wanted to stack. And there was a beautiful long there. Unfortunately, I thought it would take a little longer. I only got like a small piece, but something's better than nothing. But we had talked about that lower 200s level, and it's up pretty significantly since then. So and what's interesting is that Farcoin bottomed before Bitcoin, so it's like the ultimate risk on sentiment, right? Like Bitcoin was still selling off, and Farcoin is going sideways. So, but it's hitting resistance here. But I think if it's not the end of the bull market and we get some pullbacks, this is definitely not a bad horse to bet on. Coming out of the bottom so quick. Um, Yeah, but at this point, definitely, to tread with caution on this one. I want to see if any other ones have shown like a lot of strength. Adam, that's random.
Yeah.
So in the last week, I think the last week was like the big bounce, right? Like Bitcoin, uh, was up slightly, it was flat, which gave some breathing room, and AVAX looks like an outperformer. FTM, Sonic, that's one I want to take a look at. Uh, let's see any other big ones. Not really. It's this is interesting. All the meme coins are green. So could that mean like sentiment's coming back? Pepe and Doge, I think. So yeah, you gotta tread lightly, and definitely, if you're accumulating longer term, buy when Bitcoin's at support. But we're definitely seeing some volatility, and opportunities are starting to present themselves for sure. So any ones you've been paying attention to, Alex?
I mean, not really. Mostly it's been Fartcoin, Solana, and Sui, just for short term trades. Really, nothing really has stood out over the last few weeks in terms of. I mean, we've been into meme coins a lot, but nothing has been uh, very crazy. Besides Ghibli, I mean, this one came out earlier today, and this is probably the only one I've seen in a while to run.
Giblification.
What's that?
Is that how you say it? Giblification?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean,
What
this is
the?
the first time I've seen, I don't know, like I haven't seen too many memes run this much in like within a day. I mean,
Yeah,
this is unusual because the way the markets were looking was, people were buying and everybody was doing a one
nothing would
and
go over 20 million.
this is different. And I mean, it's surprising just looking at their Twitter. They have, I mean, nobody that I know follows them. I don't know if you want to take a look at
Some cabal stuff.
yeah, I mean, not that many followers. Oh wow. All right. So up like 50 people or more than 100 people in the last 10, 20 minutes. So people are shilling. I mean, this is new. Like this is good to see, right? But the question is how long is this going to last, right? Or is this one that people are going to pile
Yeah,
on to make it go to like 100 million, because there hasn't been anything. People might just pile on to one that's actually running for once. So, who knows there? But yeah, same thing. I've been looking at Fartcoin. I'm expecting.
did you get a
Go ahead.
did you get a chance to long
No, I didn't,
the
unfortunately.
200s?
Unfortunately, I was driving at that last bottom. I was actually driving with my laptop on the side. I had my spot, my hotspot on, and I was trying to make a trade while driving. I don't recommend it, but yeah. So I mean, one thing I could see for this one is to maybe flag out if this holds really well, then I mean you can continue to the upside. But I am seeing some sort of bearish div. Maybe we hit up to this one and then we come back down to like 400. Maybe do like a shoulder, head, and a shoulder, cup and handle, whatever you want to call it. And then maybe you could see one last push, right, to to like 1 billion, maybe. But we just have to get through these levels here. I would definitely start bidding if I do see the 4 million, 400 million, 420 million. I think that's probably a good area to get in. But I did miss this. This is a great, great run. The worst thing is that I was looking at it for so long. But
Yeah, I was waiting for that bounce, and I just got like a slight piece of it, and then it was just boom, gone.
that's how these things usually go, man. It's rough. But the other one I was looking at was Sui, and I feel like right now we are in a resistance area, right? We had this trend all the way down from 2024, just like everything else. And we have this one touching one, two, and then we broke down. This seems like a retest. I will say the 3 day is looking. It looks similar to Bitcoin again, but this is what I don't know. We'll have to see. If we can break through this level here and continue to the upside, then I may be a little bit more bullish there, because then this one could do potentially, retest back into the $4 region. I was looking at Bitcoin dominance. We haven't talked about that in a while, but um, I don't know. Do you think we'll have an altcoin season at this point?
No,
Yeah,
I
right.
don't think not in the traditional sense. I think it's just pockets of outperformance because there's no flows for altcoins. Like, let's be real. Everyone got carted out. There was like 6 billion extracted in the trenches from like all the insider launches, and not to mention just the amount of money people lost on the not famous launches. So I think all that volume that was gonna load like bid altcoins on like centralized exchanges, it just got extracted. So altcoins are cooked for now. There's really no catalyst unless Bitcoin can go on a sustained uptrend. And I think Bitcoin does have a bid. It's got the ETF flows. It's got Michael Saylor, who have stepped off the gas, but um, it's clear where the money's coming from, right? So I think BTCD continues to push up until we get QE. So we had the Fed uh, kind of step back the degree of quantitative tightening. What does this all mean for my Farcoin position? Basically, when the Fed stops QT, it's one step closer to the money printer coming on. So it took not even the first step, but like they're in the warm ups of potentially bringing easier liquidity conditions. But once that's confirmed and the money printer comes back on, alts could potentially fly. But other than that, I don't see any other catalyst. I think the market's kind of smartened up to the game, and the market's gotten more sophisticated. No one wants to be a bag holder community member anymore. So just like ran out of exit liquidity, I guess.
Yeah. When do you think that'll happen?
I think it's gonna have to do with QE. I think we're just gonna have to get like money printing, excess liquidity, excess money in the system, and then all that money trickles, down to farther down the risk curve.
Do you know when that could like? Do you think that'll be like in the summertime? Do you have an idea of when that could potentially happen?
So I think as far as like the next rate cut,
Yeah,
I believe it might be
in
June.
June. Okay,
Uh,
interesting.
Let me look it up
Yeah, yeah,
actually.
yeah, pull that up. That'll
So,
be good.
but basically the reason like markets, like Trump has almost been crashing markets on purpose, so the Fed will cut rates and borrowing. That's going to stimulate the economy. It's going to be cheaper for the government to pay off their debt, but Powell can't cut rates because inflation's still like almost 3%. So it's just like push and pull. But if inflation starts coming down, like unemployment is spiking slightly higher, then we could see cuts. It's just been like really tied to macro this year, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, check it out.
See.
Yeah. So while we have,
So I have
yeah, go ahead.
Just I just pulled up the probabilities real quick of a rate cut.
All right, sure.
So I think it's probably going to be June, as far as like that's what markets are pricing in. This is a CME futures market, so looks like a 60% chance of a cut in June. May, if we get a cut in May, like markets will probably rip, but it's unlikely, only a 12% chance. And then June, it's potentially 60%. It's the favorite probability to cut. And then once we start cutting, and inflation's not that bad, then punch bowls back, and maybe all get a bid again. But we haven't had that all clear yet.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be interesting to see. I mean, we're talking about June, so like possibly around this time around, like April, May, June, like around here. Excuse me. Maybe we could just, we could potentially just do that. Exactly what you said is, wait till around June time, right? If that's the idea, and we could just go sideways, retest here, come back down, do a little whatever, and then in June, boom, you know. That could be the news. Maybe
Yeah,
just go sideways.
unless there's a catalyst, or the Trump admin actually starts buying Bitcoin. Like, we've kind of run out of good news, and it's been mostly bad news.
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean there's not opportunity. I think there is, like, certain strong alts like Farcoin. Like for me, I'd be looking at L1s and memes again, because those are kind of the most highly likely to run and lead, right?
yeah.
So
Do you have any?
there's one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Sonic would be a good one to look at. That'd be on TradingView.
Yeah, and then let me know if you can think of any coins off the top of your head. Meme coins, so we could look at them. But yeah, I mean, this one, Sonic's actually looking really good for that double bottom. Is perfect. I mean, that March 10th was the bottom for a lot of these coins, and yeah, I mean, it broke out of this trend. We're moving up, double bottom. So it wouldn't surprise me if I don't know what news could get it to pump, because if that's the case, then it's a double bottom. Then we could see.
It doesn't even have to be. I don't think it has to be news. Like, just Bitcoin can't be dumping, and then like, so far the metrics have been good on Sonic. Like, TVL is growing. It's just the market hasn't priced that in, because it's been trending down. So if we get a stable market, like a sideways Bitcoin, or grind higher, then I think people start buying again, start bidding, basically.
Yeah, I mean, this one's already bullish. Like, I'm looking at this one. It held up. It's above the 200 MA. Yeah, I mean, this one has potential to make moves. Let's look at the hour. Yeah, I mean, this one wouldn't surprise me if we just see like a pretty big rip from here. Uh, yeah, I mean, in general, like I said, this makes me really bullish. Close above the 200 MA. We respect that. This is on the 4 hour, right? We respect it, and this is clearly to resistance here. As you can see, 1, 2, 3 is support, 3 is resistance, and we're battling that. Let's look at the MACD. Yeah, no, I think this one's a runner. This one looks like it wants to go. A little flag from here, like a weird looking flag, and go ahead into the 70s. So yeah, and that adds up perfect to that, to this resistance here. So it wouldn't surprise me if we, do a leg up there, come back down, retest maybe 60s, and then continue. It's actually looking really good. Very bullish.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna take a look
Yeah.
versus Bitcoin. I think it is looking pretty bullish versus Bitcoin also. Let me share my screen here. So yeah, it's looking really good. I think starting to develop pretty good market structure. We took the last impulse. We're back at the 0.5, which is above this green line, would be bullish, and we've kind of hit support here. Held it. now making higher highs and higher lows. So I think pullbacks, and this is versus Bitcoin, so it's outperforming Bitcoin at the moment. I think pullbacks are definitely for buying. I do have like this short setup here once we get back to 839 sats, but I think it's still good for another like 15% gain versus Bitcoin. So it's looking solid. And then this thing could go into price discovery like it's a new ticker, so
Right.
could definitely go on a run. Uh, this another one I want to look at here is Say. It's kind of been slept on, but I just want to see if this is starting to show any signs of life. Still looks pretty early. Um, yeah, this looks dead. Just
Yeah.
no signs of life. But these dead charts, like you know, all it takes is one like a 30-40% move in a couple days here. So
I mean, right now is not a bad
definitely
place to
smile.
bid on it because it is in the lows if you believe in it.
It ran all the lows, right? And now it's like here, like very tight invalidation. You could bid now and just stop out, maybe just slightly down here. See if there's any other big levels there.
Yeah, no, actually, this is a great level to bid at. I mean, looking at the weekly, it just looks incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, if you get back above like here, 0.22 into weekly demand, and then you start to hold above there, I think it looks pretty solid. If you want to be a little riskier, probably could bid now. I mean, I don't see it getting
Well,
much
here,
lower than this
well,
this wick here.
well, here's the thing. Bitcoin's looking like it's gonna move right now. Within the next 2 3 days, we're in a flag right now, which means that we could see a nice little pump. Um, eh, yeah, I would say until like the end of the month. So it wouldn't surprise me if obviously if Bitcoin rips, and obviously everything's gonna rip. But I see this as a potential long. I mean, I would say right now.
Yeah, for sure.
NFA, NFA, yeah.
Yep, agreed. And any other ones you were looking at?
We can take a look at Doge. I haven't looked at Doge to be honest. I was keeping an eye on that one, but
Yeah, Doge is one I've seen like some stats about like Doge whales buying pretty heavily, but haven't really followed up on it.
yeah. So I talked about hitting at least I believe it was 15. It was 15 or seven. No, 17. So I have this line here, and that's where I was like, all right, like this is the perfect time to buy. But it was pretty wild because we wicked all the way down to like 14 cents. It's crazy because what we were at like 50 cents all the way back down to 14 cents. So yeah, I wasn't expecting this
Yeah,
this price action there, but again, like it kind of makes sense with this flag I have, right? And like I said, it does somehow. I don't know why, but it does respect those levels there. One, two, and guess what? Three. And so it wouldn't surprise. I mean, I have this as a potential flag or a cup and handle, but this I don't know what news could happen for this to rip. I don't know if you know of anything,
yeah.
but it wouldn't.
I mean, just the ETF,
There you go.
like October, you got Sol, Litecoin, Doge. Like a lot of them are gonna probably get approved. Honestly, like the way the SEC is dismissing cases and like really not going after crypto anymore. Like it's been a 180 there. So I could see it getting a bid going into October and like the hype, buy the rumor, sell the news kind of move.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Doge go on a run
Yeah, I mean,
going into
and look
that.
at this. This is a flag in the weekly. It's not even like a like a daily or whatever. Like this is a weekly flag, and it's respected, every time. So if we can, get above this, retest here, hold the 20s, we could definitely continue to see higher highs, right? So yeah, this kind of blows my. Yeah, I mean, that's looking really bullish. I'll tell you why. This is bullish. This is
Yeah.
bullish divergence. So it's a swing, swinger RSI swinging lower, and this is on the weekly. Um, Making lower lows on the RSI, but we're getting higher highs on the price action. That's pretty bullish. It's getting impulses, right? So we could see maybe this one hitting all the way back to 30 cents, good 33% gain. And clearly, obviously, if we could break above that, then I mean, we're going to see something pretty wild. So don't sleep on Doge. I mean, charts looking
Yeah,
decent. Yeah,
I mean it's pretty nasty. I'd say like almost capitulation, just vertically down for a lot of weeks.
yeah. I mean, we're down since December. That's all it's been. December retest. I'm pretty sure this is the 786 over here. So if you do like the 786. Oh wait, let me show you guys this. Do you have any meme coins you want to look at? Any other ones?
I mean, at this point, like the things are sold off so much, I think you could get really good returns on blue chips, like the ones that aren't going anywhere, like Doge, Pepe would be another one I'm looking at.
Yeah, Pepe is actually
Uh,
really.
because if Doge goes up 50%, Pepe is gonna like 2 or 3x or even
That's
5x.
actually a really good
Uh,
point. Yeah. What are we doing here? Wow, holy. Yeah, dude, Pepe hit 2 billion. That's crazy
yeah.
numbers, man. Yeah, do you want to look at another one?
I mean, what do you think of this one? You think it's
Uh,
bottom?
yeah, let's put the indicator on this one. But I mean, you have a good point. If
If the bull market's not over, but like I would buy on I wouldn't buy maybe at DTA now, but I'd buy on like, capitulations like Bitcoin high 70s or 80, 81-ish, like big
I
sell-offs.
mean, this is it's the same thing, right? I mean, look at that. It's a lower low, but this is kind of like a swing similar. I don't know. It seems like something's brewing. Um, I
Yeah.
mean, something for these big ones, for these big memes. It's not looking bad, man. I mean, maybe for the daily, we could see like another little drop one more time, right? Because that's what I'm expecting. At least one more dump. Um,
That's gonna be the time
yeah,
to go in, I think.
yeah. So I would say one more dump, and then we go from there. So just kind of quickly, we have one of the people that I follow um, looking at Muppet. It's currently I don't know if it's anything. So uh,
Muppet.
Muppet, yeah. I think this one just came out. LeBron #2 bought it. So I mean, yeah, it's moving.
To what's the market
Uh,
cap? 400.
400K. He just threw 3,500 at 388K. I've seen him lose over the last few days, man. He's been taking some pretty massive hits. Oh, I don't know, man.
Losing discipline.
This one could run, man. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's been a while since I ate the
Yeah,
shitter,
same here, man.
but
But yeah, do you wanna look at another one?
I mean, I think we got a couple good ones there. I think, just getting back into it, we can keep today short, but definitely looking promising. I think, uh, like S, Say, Doge. Maybe let's take a look at Hype real quick, because it was pulling out of it was pulling out of the depth of despair,
Yeah, man.
and today they got basically sort of exploited essentially on their leverage because they had this coin Jelly Jelly, and
Oh,
basically some guy self liquidated himself, and because he knew he was long, like he took the opposite trade, on hype. So I think it was like below 20 million market cap, so it was pretty easy to move the price. And yeah, just I think exploited hype for like over 15 million. So this would be like a max FUD period, but what I'm concerned is like it's not the first time something like this happens, and it's it's showing a little bit of like they're not fully competent, or they're making mistakes. So I'm trying to decide, like, is this like Solana going down type of moment and people are like, oh, they're never gonna get their shit together, and then when they do it rips, or is it like just signs of NGMI, right, not gonna make it?
Yeah, I mean, this one, damn, like this one was so I had my alert. I remember I sent this one to you, and we did hit that target. Yeah, the flag and the target, but I don't know, man. I mean, this one's still it's not looking bad on like the 4 hour. Like that's looking pretty reasonable. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we go ahead and like refill this wick again, unless we get above this trend line here. I mean, to me, this is the trend line. Either we retest it and dump again, or we just get back up, or this is like a cup and handle, right? But I don't.
Because before that, it looked like it was making
This was
pretty good progress,
it
like,
was yeah. That was
but
good.
then today they got basically.
Yeah, I mean that was a great 28% down. Like, that's I mean that's a pretty big move within a couple hours.
Yeah, but usually these wicks, like these panic sellers, that's what creates bottoms. So I'm gonna have to dig into it and see what really happened, if it's fixed, if volume and everything stays the same. So
Yeah,
it's a tricky one. Like if they make it out of it, I think great buying opportunity. But again, this is like the second time something like this happens. I think if it happens again, it's probably cooked, or it might already be. So high risk, high
yeah. I
reward.
mean, I would say definitely look at. I mean, as long as we hold this $12, 11.98, we're still game on. But if it can't, then I mean, yeah, it's rough.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah.
but other than that one, not really looking at too many others.
So
Um,
I was looking at. Did I talk about Soul? No, right?
no, not yet.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Soul is in this thing. I've had it. Soul did hit my target. Honestly, I thought it was gonna go lower. I had it going lower, but maybe not now, right? But yeah, I mean, it hit that 115, like I talked about. You can look at our streams. But no, it went a little lower to like 112, which is fine. But I have it on this trend here, and it's
Is that a bear flag?
honestly, what's that?
Bear flag?
Yeah, it's a bear flag. So that's what I have a lot of coins. I even have Bitcoin in a bear flag, right? And it kind of adds up too from here to here, right? If we break obviously this flag here, then we're good. But I have Bitcoin currently in this flag here, which a target of 93 to 94, which kind of makes sense with what I was talking to you about earlier, right? That 94 region of support. Maybe we come back down, maybe we break it. But it's the same thing with Solana. We actually Solana did some good numbers. We went up all the way to like 148. So that was a good nice run from 112 to 148, 32% gain. Now, if I'm looking at the 3 day, I mean, this is what I'm gonna tell you right away. I'm seeing this could be a shoulder, head, and shoulder, right, on the 3 day. But what I'm seeing here is, look, we're making lower, lower, lower lows on the RSI, and we just went into negative territory on the RSI. I'm sorry, on the MACD. What happens when you go negative territory on the MACD? You see this, and we're looking at the 3 day here. This is the 5 day. I mean, the 5 day is already at negative territory. Could we get back up? I don't see it, to be honest with you. But yeah, here, same thing, right? We came back, we wicked up one last time, which we could probably do the same here. Go to like 180, 200, and then continue to dump. But I don't know, man. Like, so I don't understand why Soul's looking so disgusting. Like, I don't know what it
It
is,
makes
man.
sense. Like their whole market got rugged, and volume, fees, any metric you want to look at is down. So that inherently is like less demand for the base token, which is Sol. Um, but also, max FUD equals max opportunity. So was that the bottom, or maybe testing 100? or high 90s. I think still probably good buy for Sol long term. They just had BlackRock launch, I think a fund on there, or a proxy of BlackRock. They also have the ETF coming up, which personally I think could see more interest than the ETH ETF. So long term, if you think QE is going to come back and you think Bitcoin hasn't topped, you can have some patience and position, on these sell-offs. But I think you can probably have some patience and just wait for those big liquidations to get positioned.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. So I do have this target, or this, like, you see this orange between like 92 and 80, for like a buying order. If I see this price there, I would bid it, and bid the price, because then we are just we're in the downtrend, and all we could do is like maybe something like this and then come back down. It's essentially, it's a range, so we're in a range, right? Kind of exactly what we did here, right? Came up, retested, stayed in the middle, and then stayed above that, right? We could be in that higher range where we don't break 100, but if we do break that 100, maybe a deviation, right? And then we just continue to the upside, right? I mean, personally, I'd bid the 80s anyway, see what happens.
Yeah, I think
Um,
a lot of people would.
right? So I mean, yeah, I still have it in a bear flag. I'm still pretty bearish on this one, just because, again, the charts are just not looking very promising unless there's, like, again, huge news. But even if we retest this again around here, I'd short again. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all we got. Again, Bitcoin it's not looking bad. It wouldn't surprise me if we break out of this flag here, to make higher highs, right? Maybe to come all the way up to 93, 94, and then this would be very crucial, right, to see what happens.
Yeah,
Because
that's the decision zone above there. Like if you don't get the liquidation wicks we're talking about, like you could probably be safer longing above 94 on a lot of altcoins. Uh,
yeah, but again, it wouldn't surprise me if we see a bunch of these rip, like Sol, all of these, just because, again, if we get rejected here for Bitcoin in a short and we break this, yeah, we're going down, man. We're going down to maybe lower
yeah.
70s.
So
But yeah, keep an eye on that.
if you guys want updates on these trading setups and real time what we're doing, we're gonna have those in our Telegram. We'll add that to the description. And yeah, we're gonna be a lot more active there, doing more lives. The market was definitely boring if you weren't shorting. So now we're getting some volatility and definitely gonna start to be more active. So anything
Yeah.
you want to add before you wrap up?
No, that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna post this one on our group chat, with the options, and then yeah, make sure you guys are joining. All right.
Awesome. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.